pineapple originated inland of present-day Brazil and Paraguay in South America. This fruit became very popular in the Caribbean islands amongst the Carib Indians. As a result of Indian migration, the pineapple was raided and traded in the Caribbean area. It was originally called anana, or excellent fruit. The word pineapple is said to have been first mentioned in the English language in 1398. It was named pineapple because of its pine cone shape and juicy nature. It became a staple of Indian feasts and rites related to tribal affirmation. It was also used to produce Indian wine. Pineapples were brought back to Europe by Christopher Columbus. On his second voyage to the Caribbean region, he and his men discovered the sweet fruit. After Columbus first found pineapples, they started to be used on ships to prevent scurvy. At the time, Renaissance Europe was deprived of sweets and fresh fruits since both were rare commodities that came at high prices. It took over 2 centuries for the Europeans to discover a way to successfully grow a pineapple plant. For this reason, the pineapple remained a coveted good for an extended period of time. It was so highly regarded that it was seen as a symbol of royal privilege. King Charles II of England posed for a portrait while holding a pineapple. The fruit was also used as a means to show family status in colonial America. Housewives attempted to outdo each other by designing creative ways to display a pineapple at important gatherings. They were commonly displayed on the highest pedestal at a feast table since it was considered the ultimate exotic food. It was difficult to obtain a pineapple since they would often rot on cargo ships if not transferred by the speediest ships in the most ideal weather conditions. A woman's ability to acquire a pineapple for a gathering measured both her resourcefulness and her family's rank. Pineapples could sometimes be rented by the day and then later sold to a more affluent customer to be consumed at night. The exotic fruit was often the main topic of conversation throughout an event. It was considered to express a sense of welcome, good cheer, human warmth, and family affect inherent to home gatherings. Pineapples are now sometimes given to signify a gift of friendship. It is believed that the Spanish introduced the first pineapples to Hawaii in 1527 on the Big Island. Then, it is believed to have spread in Asia and the West Indies. Artists and architects used the pineapple as a motif for gateposts or weather vanes of the most important public buildings. They wove the pineapple into tablecloths, napkins, curtains, and draperies, in addition to carving them into doors and walls. An English captain, John Kidwell, began the commercial development of the pineapple. He tested a variety of pineapples and selected the Smooth Cayenne in 1880. However, the United States collected a high tariff on canned pineapples, so it was an unprofitable business. In 1898, Captain Kidwell had to close his business. Surprisingly, Hawaii became a part of the United States, and the tariff on canned pineapples was reduced the same year. James Lowell began his pineapple plantation in 1890 and built the first pineapple cannery. Henry Janaka invented the first pineapple peeling and coring machine in 1911, which was immediately bought by Dole. Before this, pineapples were peeled and cored by hand. Gianca's machine cored and peeled 35 pineapples a minute. His machine had significantly increased the efficiency of preparation of pineapples. In 1922, James Dole bought the island of Lanai, where he cultivated the largest pineapple plantation in the world. There, he grew 75% of the total world supply of pineapples in its peak years. By 1950, 1/3 of the world's pineapple production and 60% of the world's canned pineapple was produced in Hawaii. It is clear how this celebrity fruit had quite the impact on society in its early stages.
One fact with the pineapple is that the pineapple will not ripen any further once picked. This means that the pineapple will not become any sweeter. When I'm in the grocery store, I often see people trying to pull the leaves of the crown out of the pineapple. To their dismay, this tall tale of determining whether a pineapple is ripe is wrong. According to Dole, the ease at which you are able to pull the leaves out of the crown of the pineapple is not a sign of ripeness or good quality. However, you can smell the bottom of the pineapple to determine whether it is ripe or not. If the bottom has no smell, then it is not ripe yet. Be careful, a pineapple that is not ripe enough can be poisonous. If the bottom has an overly sweet smell, then the pineapple is overripe and will go bad soon. If the bottom has a slightly sweet smell, then the pineapple is just ripe enough. If you're trying to make the pineapple softer so that it can be consumed, you can leave it on the counter for a few days. If you want the pineapple to soften slowly, you can store the pineapple in a refrigerator. Some articles state that if you want a juicier pineapple, you can cut the top off of the pineapple and place the pineapple upside down in the refrigerator for a few days. Other articles state to place the pineapple upside down on its crown in a shelf in the refrigerator and leave it for a minimum of 30 minutes. When you go to cut your pineapple after a few days of letting it soften, think carefully. The core of the pineapple is often thrown right into the trash. However, it contains one of the most beneficial nutrients in the whole fruit. The core, peels, and leaves of pineapple contain the enzyme bromelain, which has many uses to our daily lives. The enzyme bromelain is commonly used as an anti-inflammatory. It can be used to reduce swelling, bruising, and pain from physical injuries. Some double-blind trials have revealed that athletes have experienced a faster recovery from sprains with the use of bromelain. Bromelain has also been known to relieve symptoms of a sinus infection. The University of Michigan stated, in a double-blind trial, 87% of patients who took bromelain reported good to excellent results compared with 68% of those taking placebo. It has also been known to help break down mucus when someone has the common cold or a cough. Although more research is needed to further confirm this fact, some studies have shown that bromelain has helped reduce pain in people suffering from arthritis. Some negative side effects of bromelain need to be addressed. Since bromelain can break down collagen, it is a great meat tenderizer. However, you have to realize that something that can break down collagen is probably not great in excess. Bromelain is the reason why your mouth starts to tingle and feel sore after you eat pineapple. An excess of pineapple can cause this tingling sensation and acid reflux. The juices of the pineapple contain a nutrient known as vitamin C. According to the USDA, one pineapple has 432.6 milligrams of vitamin C. The public's perception of oranges is that oranges are the richest source of vitamin C. However, this theory has been proven to be incorrect. According to the USDA, one orange has 69.7 milligrams of vitamin C. This means that one pineapple has 362.9 milligrams more vitamin C than one orange. The recommended daily amount of vitamin C for an adult male is 90 milligrams, and for an adult woman is 75 milligrams. According to the USDA, one cup of pineapple contains 78.9 milligrams of vitamin C. This means that one cup of pineapple is sufficient for the daily consumption of vitamin C necessary for women, and a little bit more than one cup of pineapple is sufficient for the daily consumption of vitamin C necessary for males. According to the University of Maryland, you need vitamin C for the growth and repair of tissues in all parts of your body. It helps the body make collagen, an important protein used to make skin, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and blood vessels. Vitamin C is needed for healing wounds and for repairing and maintaining bones and teeth. Vitamin C is especially needed to help fight colds. This is why you often see people taking vitamin C pills or vitamin C supplements when they are either beginning to get sick or are sick. Vitamin C deficiency is rare, but can be found in smokers. Vitamin C deficiency can result in high blood pressure, stroke, gallbladder disease, and many other health risks. The juices of the pineapple contain a second nutrient known as vitamin B6. According to the USDA, one pineapple has 1.014 milligrams of vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is often used to help produce energy for the body. According to the University of Maryland, vitamin B6 is needed for normal brain development and function and helps the body make the hormones serotonin and norepinephrine, which influence mood, and melatonin, which helps regulate the body clock. Vitamin B6 deficiency is rare. However, children and elderly people are most susceptible to a deficiency in vitamin B6. Symptoms of a deficiency in vitamin B6 may be muscle weakness, irritability, depression, and difficulty concentrating. The juices of the pineapple contain a third nutrient known as manganese. One pineapple contains 433 milligrams of manganese. According to the University of Maryland, manganese helps the body form connective tissue, bones, blood clotting factors, and sex hormones. It also plays a role in fat and carbohydrate metabolism, calcium absorption, and blood sugar regulation. Manganese is also necessary for normal brain and nerve function. It is easy for your body to have low levels of manganese, as this nutrient is often found in whole grains, nuts, and seeds. According to the University of Maryland, some experts estimate that as many as 37% of Americans do not get the recommended dietary intake of manganese in their diet. A deficiency of manganese in a person's diet can lead to infertility, bone malformation, weakness, and seizures.
So how exactly do pineapples grow?
How do you think pineapples grow?
From the ground.
Like in a tree or in a bush?
I guess just from the ground, like separated.
How do you think pineapples grow?
They grow on a tree.
How do you think pineapples grow?
I think they grow in the ground like airplanes.
How do you think pineapples grow?
Pineapples grow on trees.
How do you think pineapples grow?
Underground, they're the apples of the earth.
How do you think pineapples grow?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they grow on a tree.
Many people think that pineapples grow on trees, but these people would be wrong. Pineapples actually grow out of the ground from a plant. Unlike most fruits, pineapples do not grow from seeds, but instead from crowns or suckers. Pineapple plants have a dense, shallow root that has long, stiff leaves, which can grow up to 5 feet long. In the center of these leaves, the fruit grows. This fruit is actually dozens of individual fruit-producing flowers that have fused into a single fruit, then capped with the crown with many short leaves. Once the fruit is removed from the plant, a sucker is left. The plant can produce another fruit from this, and thus the process continues. However, each fruit produced gets smaller in size. This causes farmers to replace plants approximately every 3 years after the second fruit is produced. The flowering process that produces the pineapple fruit can take up to 12 to 14 months after planting, and harvest can be done 20 months after planting. Additionally, pineapple plants can only grow one pineapple at a time, making this a long process for one single fruit. Pineapples are native to the tropics, but can also grow in subtropical areas. They can grow in a variety of soils, which is why we can grow them in pots, granted they have space to fully grow. However, they need soil that has good drainage and aeration. Pineapples also prefer a slightly acidic soil with a pH of 4.5 to 5.5. The pineapple has a remarkable ability to grow under a wide range of rainfall conditions due to the nature of the plant leaves being rough, causing water to not evaporate from the plant very easily. Pineapples make up 20% of tropical fruit production in the world. Its production has grown by 400% over the last 50 years. But where do we get our pineapples from?
Where do you think most pineapples come from?
South America.
Where do you think most pineapples come from?
Hawaii, there's a Dole factory.
While Hawaii does give us some pineapples, 90% of the U.S.'s pineapples are from Costa Rica. But the pineapple industry in Costa Rica is not all that it seems. Most of its workers are immigrants from Nicaragua. Many of these immigrants do not have official papers or visas when they begin working, and thus work 14-hour days, 6 days a week, laboring in pineapple fields with the threat that if they don't, they will be deported. Unions in the Costa Rica pineapple industry are very low in terms of participation. Many workers opt out of membership due to discrimination they face. Companies employ anti-union tactics, such as moving union members to undesirable and low-paid jobs or putting union members on blacklists, preventing them from finding work on other plantations. Women are discriminated against even more severely, with many women not even being hired due to the fact that companies do not want to pay for maternity leave if the female worker were to become pregnant at any time during employment. And if employed, these women face discrimination and sexual harassment. Labor is not the only problem with the pineapple industry in Costa Rica. Pineapple production uses an enormous amount of pesticides. Pineapples need very large amount of pesticides, about 20 kilograms of active ingredient per hectare per cycle. The soil is sterilized and biodiversity is eliminated. 14 to 16 different types of treatment are typically needed, and many have to be applied several times. Chemicals used on pineapple farms are dangerous for the environment and human health. The large usage of agrochemicals has a huge impact on Costa Rica. When it rains, these chemicals are carried into the water supply, affecting the drinking water of local communities. The affected communities now have to rely on the government to provide water for them and are already reporting birth defects, skin diseases, and respiratory issues caused by these pesticides. Workers on the pineapple farm face similar problems. Employees that spray and work near the pesticides report headaches, skin burns, and nausea, in addition to the already rough conditions that they work in. Despite the not-so-sweet truth about pineapples, we hope you learned something.